Someone I used to work for had a saying that was, if it doesn't pass the taste test, it's probably too good to be true. I think a lot of people that come here, they come from somewhere else that's maybe you can trust people a little more. So what's your advice to people that come here that have great intentions and then they think that other people have great intentions? Because we often project our own stuff onto other people.
Yep.
How do you be protective without being too jaded or too cynical? Or is it not possible?
Yeah, I think you just have to learn. Like, I think, and here's the thing about Hollywood. This is a creative community at its core, and at the end of the day, that leads people to believe, on the one hand, that ordinary business principles do not apply, which obviously they do. If you've ever managed a theater or managed a touring company or worked in comedy or worked in music and had to produce a band, you know that you need to have your business in order. You need to understand supply and demand and the basic principles of professionalism. And there's a lot of misconception about whether or not basic professionalism is the law of the land here, which in fact it is. And on the flip side of it, Hollywood is the most well-heeled creative community on the planet. It's our country's biggest export. There's more money here than there is anywhere else in America. And there's more money here than there is, probably, in any other creative community on the planet. So it attracts people of all stripes. And when you take those two factors, the misconception about common sense, and then all that greed, and you pile them in one messy pile, you're going to find yourself in some dicey situations inevitably. And I think what it takes is just the practice of exercising your own professionalism, coming to the place where you understand that the fundamentals that you learned in theater or in wherever you came from, those basic fundamentals of conducting your business and conducting your art in a professional way will in fact just take care of everything. But you have to learn the listening skills, and you have to learn the poise and the groundedness to exercise those practices from a place of balance. And there's no other way to do that but just to throw yourself into it, I think. So it's just trial and error and learning not to get knocked over, not to get overwhelmed when someone comes at you with a barrage of what appears to be good news or a barrage of what appears to be bad news, and to learn to just stand there in the eye of the storm and hear what they're actually saying, and to choose and to ask the right questions. Also, due diligence, finding out who's who, using your sense of the language and using your sense of professionalism to test them and ping them and see where the argument falls apart. That's just something you got to learn on the fly, I think.